So what do I make my videos about, right? I'm sure you guys are probably already wondering this. Like there's thousands of things you can make your videos on, but let's hone into it real quick. First off, you need to understand who your client is. All right? What do they look like? What do they like to do? Do they have kids? Do they have a dog? Are they moving for work? Hone in, and this sounds crazy. I know you're going to say this sounds crazy, but literally write it down. Here's why I say that. When you write down who you're, and they call it an avatar, right? We've all seen the movie Avatar, I'm sure, right? The avatar was a body someone would go into, and it looked like the other people. Who is your avatar? Now, I'm not asking you to become somebody different, but I want you to picture that person every time you turn on your video. Talk to them. Give them a name, right? It could be Bob from Bayshore. I don't know. Give them a name and talk to them. Don't say their name because that would be really weird. Everybody's going to wonder who Bob is, right? But make sure you're expressing yourself. Is Bob a more of an analytic person? Great, give him more detail. He's going to want to know the stats of when the trains run and how often flights come in from New York, because that's where he is, because he's a banker and he works in Charlotte because it's the second biggest banking capital in the US. Understand who your person is.
That's super quick, because I think it is so important when it comes to sales to match the person that you're talking to. Right.
Yes.
So do the same thing in listing appointments, do the same time when you meet someone at a coffee shop, right? Like if someone's leaning forward and they're so excited and they talk with their hand, then I lean forward and I'm so excited and I talk with my hand, right? If someone's super mellow and they lean back and they're very sophisticated and they put their hands together like this, then I'm very sophisticated and I put my hands together like this, right? So this is you do the same thing online, because when you know who your target audience is, you know how you want them to, you know how they want you to be.
Yes.
Right? And that's why it's so important to make sure. Now, I don't want you to start thinking and becoming somebody who you are not. Right? This is why it's super important to figure out who is your, I call it target audience, you call it avatar, right? Like who is that person that you are talking to? Who is your ideal client? You know, the saying that you never work a day in your life if you love what you do, because you have to do it with the people who are just like you. So I want you to really write this down. Who are the people who are just like me and what do we have in common? And you might say, okay, they'll probably have a cute little family. They're probably Christian. They love to live in a middle-sized home, like maybe 2,400 square foot. Probably both of them are working, or maybe one stays home and one has a really good job, right? Like who is that? Who is that target audience? Because when you can nail that down in your head, you know exactly who you're talking to. You don't have to change you because you are them. That's why you attract them into your life. But let's be very specific of who they are. So then you don't have to change you. You can be you, and then you're attracting them into your life because they're just like you. But I
Love that. And thank you for that, especially the simulation between going to an appointment and being in person. And that's the disconnect a lot of people have on video, right? They're staring at a camera and they start to feel either uncomfortable or they don't know who they're talking to because you've got it on selfie mode and you're talking to yourself, which I talk to myself all the time, obviously. But if you have that image in your head of who they are, what they're about, what their desires are, what they want to know, it's going to make it so much easier for that to come through on the camera.